Yo, welcome to Dream Team Scout. This is your boy Tage for another episode of the Sun Dream Team Fantasy Game Week 13. If you just tune into this channel, please like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, we're gonna get straight to it. Just a quick recap. You could see at the bottom side, on the bottom right side of the screen, or wherever, it depends where you're sitting. You will see the recaps of how we performed last week with our suggestions. So just to quickly run through, we had Mazraoui, Timber, Bruno Fernandes, Foden, Nunes, Jackson. So yeah, just let me know how I performed last week with regards to my suggestions, and yeah, and just give my grading. For this game week 13, it's a different one. All Premier League teams they've got 2 games, so it's back to back now. And it feels beautiful. No Europe, so you could bring in the players that you've been eyeing up, that you felt, if it went for the fact that you ain't playing in Europe, then you could have been in, So and certain managers, even from last week, took the punt on Nicholas Jackson, and we saw what his returns were, 16 points. Yeah, or if you went for Acuna last week, his return was 20 points. So listen, let's not waste too much time. For game week 13 tips, these will be the player suggestions I'll be ringing out. I'll just go through the formalities with certain players that we know they should be in your team at this point. So we know you should have Mo Salah, who's 7.4 million. He got a return of 17 points this week, so we should. Is it 17 points? Is that correct? Sorry, just bear with me a second. Bear with me a second. Yeah, no, 18 points this week, so should I say. Yeah, so he got a return of 18 points as opposed to 17. He missed the penalty against Madrid. He's got a total of 186 points, which is fire, man. That is just crazy. Just some good points at this stage of the season. At this stage, 187 points. Keep missing the ones. Well, yeah, 187 points this season so far. Game week 13, he's got Newcastle, he's got Man City, then he's got Newcastle after. Those are 2 tough games. Man City, I know they're in steady decline, but that is a tough game. So, but if you have Salah, I would say you still keep him anyway, because he still could score against Man City. The defense is vulnerable, so he could get a penalty. And Newcastle, they surprised us all with the loss last week. So yeah, so Salah is someone that you should have in a team. So we're just gonna move past that. Erling Haaland, everyone should have him. I've seen all over like socials with tons of people taking off Haaland, even though he got the brace against Feyenoord. But yeah, I don't know what your strategy is, and each to their own. But Erling Haaland will still remain in my team. He got his game with 12 points, which 22 more than Mo Salah, and that's the man in form. I know it's all raw. Like I said, it's all rather guaranteed captain slot has sort of faded, but it's still a must with Dream Team managers. So I wouldn't go around taking off Haaland for my team anytime soon, anyway, or ever. So I'll say hold indefinitely. And then another guy that I think every team should have as well, who I think he gets a lot of stick or doesn't really get appreciated as enough, like the other, like the revs that Cole Palmer gets or Foden. And that is Bukayo Saka, man. He's 6.4. His game with 12 points was 36. It should be increasing by at least by 300k. 14 points against Forest, 16 against Sporting, a total of 155 points, so 30 points off Mo Salah. And yeah, so he should be someone that you should have in your team at this point in time. 2 goals, 2 assists in the last game week. Shows that Arsenal player that is back in form, and this actually correlates with the fact that Odegaard is back. So that is something that I would be sort of like bearing that in mind in the future. If Odegaard is missing, then the returns of Saka might not be the same output, might not be the same. So yeah, just trying to run through those formalities with those guys are the players you should have in guaranteed in your team right now. And if you don't have any of these guys in, I would say you should prioritize that. But if you do have these players in your team, then we could start looking at other players for this game week. Now I'm gonna start off with someone that might, someone that we might feel, I don't know. I'm gonna start off with Cole Palmer because he's one that Chelsea have got two good games coming up. They got Aston Villa, who have been conceding goals like mad. I know they kept a clean sheet against Juve, which I didn't expect, but then Juve's got tons of injuries. There's definitely goals in that game. And then they got Southampton away. So I would say Cole Palmer is one that you could bring in. However, you have to remember that in game week 14, where Chelsea played Tottenham or Astana, he would be playing one out of the two. So if you are going to bring him in, just bring him in for this game week 13. I know he's been quiet lately, like I've said, but with the double games and a Southampton team that concedes chances, definitely he should get some good returns. And then if you're looking at his teammate, Nicholas Jackson as well, he's 4 million. He should increase by at least 200k. He scored 16 points this game week. He scored a total of 98 points, and he's averaging 8.2 points, which ain't bad. And his best performing points in a single game is 21 points, so that is great. So yes, I believe these these returns are should I say these returns, the possibility of a good return with Nicholas Jackson is very high for me. So he's one I'll be considering very much so. Yeah, because they've got Southampton, man. We need to fist in there. We need to dine. Like Sparta. Tonight we dine in hell. Sorry. But yeah, so those would be the two guys from Chelsea. And if I was to go looking over attacking prospects, we've got Pedro Brighton. Brighton is 4.1 million. Game week 12 points. Scored was 13 against Man City. And in the last two game week, he scored 2 goals and 2 assists. So it's definitely worth a punt. With the fixtures on show. So yeah, I would say is one that you should bring in for game week 13 only. Okay, and then another player for game week 13 only also would be Acuna of Wolves. He's 4.8. This guy's been a beast. Game week 12 points, he scored 20. V Fulham, he's got 108 points in total. And now here's a piece of information you should see. My guy scored 53 points from his last 4 games. He's definitely worth a punt. He's definitely worth a punt. It's either I've got, if I am going to keep in Haaland and Salah, then I have to contemplate between, Pedro, Jackson, and Acuna. So yeah, that's a tough one. And this just got me thinking I might have to probably do, I could do probably a 12-man just to bring one of them in. If I don't already have. So it's a bit of a tough one for me. I don't know where to go with this, but I would give it a good thought. So, and then another guy I'd probably say for game week 13 only, I'll probably say with some Spurs players. So I would say Son, who done 19 points returns this game week. His average is 7.5, so okay. His best performing points in a single game is 18. He's got 2 assists in his last 2 games. He's on penalties. He's the captain. They got Fulham and Bournemouth. He should play both games. The only thing with him, he probably gets subbed around 17 minutes, 75 minutes, and that is a problem where, it's the pressure on you to perform within those time before you get subbed. So I would say game week 13 only keep for me. Reason why, because after that we've got Chelsea and Rangers, and I don't think he's going to be playing Son against Rangers in the Europa League. Same thing for Johnson as well. This applies. He got 19 points this game week. With his 2 goals in 2 games. One against Man City, one against not Man City, one against Roma last night, should I say? So he's definitely one that you could consider bringing him just for this game week only if you're looking at your midfield. Yeah, and then if you believe your team is set, your team is good to go, you're on full flight. Then if you've got problems with defense, I'll probably say the only one defender that sticks to mind this game week would be Julian Timber for Arsenal is 3.7. It should go up by 200k returns this game week for 12. Because he got the assist. It's definitely a starter now for Arsenal, and we should fancy as a clean sheet against Spurs. I mean, not Spurs, against West Ham. So he's someone that if I was going to bring him in, I would buy and hold. So if you're bringing him in, it's for the long run, for the long haul. Or an alternative could be Gabriel. I know he did limp off against Sporting, but should be fine. Gabriel's got a tendency of limping off and being fine for the next game. So yeah, I would say that would be it really. I'm just thinking. Yeah, that is it really, to be fair. And then if we're discussing strategy this game week, it's a bit of a tough one as well, because I don't know what people have done. So if you're looking to bring in, like myself, I'm considering the 12-man with regards to I don't know if I should bring in I want to keep Haaland and Salah. At the same time, I want to have Acuna and Pedro, so that might be a 12-man conundrum. Yeah, so I'm not too sure. Or a max captain this game week, as opposed to you don't really know who to captain, and yeah, it just depends. Or a goal booster, because I haven't used any of mine. So it's a bit of a tricky one. Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one. I'm considering a 12-man or a goal booster, but yeah, I do not know at this point in time. So yeah, please let me know in the comment section what your strategy is. If you're looking to do a booster, please do let me know. And then with regards to my my transfer intentions for this game week, I know I've sort of covered it during the show. Oh yeah, and there's one more player that, sorry, if I was to probably Gravenberch or Liverpool, he's a bonus points. He gets his bonus points in, but I don't know if that wouldn't be strong enough for me to bring him in. But it was just someone that I sort of noticed a pattern with his bonus points. He's a bit of a Timmerlands as well. But anyway, going back to my team, should I say what my transfer intentions are for this game week? So I mean, first of all, for this game week, I scored 146 points. You can see that on the screen. And the Man City defense is just letting me down. They're letting me down ridiculously. So it's safe to say Gavio and Lewis will definitely be leaving, or one of them might stay. I don't know, but even if City was to play Forest, they might still concede. They would, like, literally, there's no team right now City wouldn't play that they wouldn't concede. And I'm sorry, I can't have these assets just depreciating. If you're in finance, then you know what I'm going on. But yeah, so yeah, this game week I'm probably gonna take Gavido and Lewis off, and yeah, might be for if I take off Gavi and Lewis off, then I have to bring in a defender in the team, which might be Timber, and then I might bring in an attacker and Jackson or whoever I decide to bring in. Or if I was to go for the goals, I could, I'm thinking of more of a 12-man here. I think me doing a goals booster right now with a team with the two United assets, Fernandes and Garnacho, I'm not too sure. Everton is a tough place to go. They're very formidable, even though they're on the lowest scale of the table. And yeah, I'm probably going to do a 12-man. Probably a 12-man with, of having Cole Palmer. Then I might move either Garnacho for a Jackson or Pedro. Not too sure. It's a tough one. Cunha. I want to have them all. But it's impossible. But yeah, we'll see. And then my game week captain for this week is going to be a tricky one, but it's either between I'm looking between either Cole Palmer or Nicholas Jackson. those will be the two guys I will be going for the leading the race for the captaincy. Then probably Mo Salah in third. The reason why, because Chelsea just faced Southampton, and I feel like loads of points could be accumulated there. Salah's got a tough game against Man City, and I know we did say he could probably chip in with a penalty, but it's not easy. It's not easy pickings with that game, and then Newcastle as well ain't an easy one as well. So we'll see. But my captain choices, probably say Cole Palmer, maybe Cole Palmer, Mo Salah, then Jackson, just to give Salah that respect, and Haaland as my fourth choice captain. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm saying Ireland as fourth choice. But anyway, you can see on the right hand side what the captain gradings are. So you could have that in mind in your thought process. So yeah, it is what it is, man. It's been a good episode. Please like, share, and subscribe again. And thanks for the new followers I got last week. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, and then transfers 6:30 on a Friday. Please don't forget, Dream Team Scout. Over and out.